1960 Olympic Oriental style cabinet. This will be part 4. We're going to do the AM/FM tuner in this. Hopefully get it working. Part 1 we did pickup. Part 2 we resurrected the TV. Part 3 we were fighting with a vertical deflection issue. In this part I want to try and get this thing working. Ooh, roach feces. Ooh, gentle and creamy. Or is that corrosion? No, I think that's roach feces. Wow. I don't remember this being corroded down here. Well, it has been dual speaker. It has been sort of stored outside. It's been covered, but we've had some rough weather. Very damp this year. And yeah, if you remember in part 2, I think it was, when we took this apart, we found roaches. But came from a house in Compton, a trailer, and the lady that owned this had a lot of pet rabbits, and they literally ate all the wiring out of it. But I want to see if we can resurrect the AM/FM receiver part. I don't think there's much hope for the record player, but all the wires are cut and chewed up. I'm going to get that out. This is a mess. I'll start by pulling the chassis out. And unfortunately, because no one wants to adopt these 50 sets, this is going to end up getting gutted and being sold as a pet bed. Make a nice pet bed. Roach scented pet bed. Well, unfortunately the dial cord is broken, and that's probably not going to get fixed. Look at this mess. On a side note, I recently, well, today, the video I released today was on a Sony Trinitron TV, and sometimes I don't release videos that are not fresh, like a week or 2 weeks old. Sometimes they sit around for quite some time before they get released, but that does not make them any less effective. And there was a comment there, I guess I was ranting on about the news, and there was a comment there about what was the difference between the old school polio thing and the new thing. And I was trying to reply to that. I was trying to reply to this person, and my comment just kept getting deleted. It just kept vanishing. I'd post it, it would say comment, it would say reply posted, I'd refresh, and it was gone. So that's the censorship for you. You will not question our authority. We will vanish your questioning. And the airplane approves. So we got 2 bulbs here that are out of the socket. I'm going to assume this is probably one of them. 6BA6. Okay. Oh, we have a 45. Oh, look at all the dead spiders. Flavor. Wow, it looks like an egg sac popped. Look at all of them. Just kind of blissfully blowing in the wind. I'm surprised they didn't eat each other. Wow, what a mess. It's even caked with dead spiders down there. Here's a 45 RPM record adapter thingy. Yeah, this is pretty gnarly. Let's look at the bottom, and I think we're going to just treat this like an All-American 5. I'm assuming these are, well, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't even know where the speakers hook up. because all those wires are chewed off. The power cord is chewed off. Okay, I got to get this in decent lighting because there are the egg sacs and there are the roaches. Absolutely caked with dead spiders. Caked. Look at this. Is that considered caked with dead spiders? And look at this. Same thing. Caked with dead spiders. Well, let's see. Where are the audio output transformers to start? Where are the audio output transformers? Oh, here and here. So we need to find out where those caked with dead spiders. I'm going to get the vacuum. I can't. This is more than I can. Just focus on the dead spiders and everything will be okay. 2023 will be economic bliss. The spiders will bring economic wealth and robustness to your life. That's where the dial cord is broken right there. Good thing is it looks like it uses a lot of disc capacitors. Here we have pieces of a dead spider. A few observations here. These are the crappy IF cans with the clear bottom that often have silver mica disease, and with night vision you can see the things arcing through the clear plastic. That has been demonstrated in these videos before. We mostly have disc capacitors. We only have a couple paper capacitors. And what we really want to make sure is that the capacitors that couple, I wonder if I malleolated that, the capacitors that couple to the audio output tubes, that has been getting hot for a long time. So wow, that looks like that has some hours. 6CA4 EZ81, made in England. It's an Olympic branded tube. Of course, that's your full wave double diode rectifier. And that probably gets very hot, especially if the filter's leaky. We have here, we have a, is this a 6BQ5 EL84, made in England. It's the original tube, but where's the number on it? Or could that be it? 1796. Huh, okay. One of these uses a 6BM8, which looks like this one. So this is ECL82, yeah, 6BM8. So this is the chassis that does not use two 6BQ5 or EL84s. This uses a 6BM8, the bowel movement tube. Okay, It's a valuable little tube these days. There is a Soviet replacement though, which is probably impossible to get now, thanks to the Spider-in-Chief. So we need to find out what these are. We know what chassis it is now. Yes, I know. Shut up and make it working. Is this where the speakers hook up right here? Ooh, Bark Point cigarette rash. Okay. What the hell is this? Oh, that's a pilot light. Brain failure. So this must be your speaker output right here. This is going to be your multiplex out for a multiplex stereo FM multiplex adapter, because it's coming off the last IF there, because there's 3 here. And then the top 2 are going to be your phono left right. You can see the shielded wire. So phono left right, multiplex, and speaker. And the reason why the speaker is connected to this wafer switch is because the TV feeds into this. This comes from the audio coming out of the TV. So when this is turned off, it's basically connecting these 2 speakers to the audio output of the TV chassis. I mean, this would have been obvious if all the wires weren't all eaten by rabbits and pulled out and destroyed. So it looks like there is a tube chart in here. Get a picture of that with me phone. Ooh, look at the rabbit fur. Caked. What's this? Another tube shield. Here's our glass. We don't want that to break. Made in USA. That's kind of very cool. Caked with spiders. And I thought there was another tube floating around here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Caked with spiders. Wonder where that one goes. Well, they are both 6BA6s, so that kind of simplifies that. But let's see here. 6BA6, 6BA6. And then look at that. I got that right. Yep. Yep, I got that right. I get gold star today. Okay. So that's good because this is not in the SAMs. Yeah, EL84 6BQ5, ECL82 6BM8, EZ81, that's your rectifier. Yep, easy. Wow, it's even got the IF cans listed, FM, AM. Yeah, I got a feeling it doesn't work, or else why would the tubes be pulled out? And I think that other shield apparently goes right here over the detector. I see. This had double stick tape holding it on, and then those over the outside with the light bulbs there. So I'm actually doing some bathtub repair today, so I can use some of that caulking to glue this back together. So this is the proper schematic. It's got the 2 different tubes. This one both has EL84s for both outputs. So it's not this one, and it's not this one, because this one's got 50 C5s for the outputs. So we got the right chassis. First thing we're going to do, and I'm just going to use WD-40, is we're going to hose down all the pots, because I ain't using my good, you just squirt it in these holes here. I ain't using my good control cleaner on this here spider tray. And then on this, you just kind of clinko-twinkulate all of the different wafers. Not a lot to it. And then you just work it back and forth. Well, the WD-40 drips on the spider egg sacs. 2,500 hours. Guess if a little Taiwanese 99-cent chandelier bulb can last 2,500 hours, vacuum tube can last, what, 10,000 hours? Anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to dim bulb this thing. I got the speaker hooked up. I don't think I'm going to replace the dial cord. If anything, this thing is going to get the Bluetooth input, or the iPod, the old, I guess none of the phones support that anymore. Was that 3.2 millimeters or whatever that little thing is? So here we go. There's no reason to condemn the filter capacitor just because the internet says so. If we can save it, these filter capacitors from the, about, well, I was going to say the mid 60s to early 70s are just indestructible. They really had them perfected by then, but this is 1960, so this might be a problem. So you can see it's getting dimmer. Unfortunately, because it uses a vacuum tube rectifier, we have to sort of get over the filament threshold in order to start. So a Variac would probably be better for this, honestly, because we can fine-tune that threshold of getting it over the filaments warming up to the point where the tube starts conducting. Oh yeah, set it on top of the bare wires. I don't know where we are here. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to check the grid voltage on these two tubes. And that'll give us an idea. Well, we'll check the grid and the cathode voltage. Unfortunately, the schematic does not give us values, but we should know what those are. Let me try something. Let me pull the rectifier out. That was this one here. Let's see what the light does. Oh yeah. We'll let it cool down. We'll see how much of it's conducting into the filter. Because some of that's the filament. And then as it heats up and starts conducting, it should get brighter if it is conducting. Alright, let me dig out the tube socket adapter and just let this sit for a little bit. It's funny, it sounds like silver mica disease already, and I'm still on this bulb. I'm going to go up to the next size bulb here. This is a 68 watt at 130 volt. I almost need to look at the front of the TV. Start with the EL84. So pin, see there's no voltages on this, so 1 and 2 should be 0. Seven should be B+. And we're still on a light bulb, so 135 volts. Pin 3 should be, I don't know, 5 to 8 volts, something like that. One volt. I'm going to bypass the light bulb. That really sounds like bad silver mica disease. Let's see, we could take... So it's... I'm assuming that's a second IF. So that would almost suggest it's in this can or this can. So this tube is definitely weak, without a doubt. Pin 7, 242 volts on the plate, 3 volts on the cathode. This tube is definitely weak, but no surprise there. Yeah, no surprise here. I mean, obviously the reason why the tubes were pulled out is because there was an issue with it. And I'm just going to assume that it's... And the burning rat piss really smells cool. Really they should make like a tree for your car. You know what I should do? I should take this in a dark area and get the night vision, and we should see if we can see that arcing. Let's do the 6BM8 first. Pin 6 is the plate. Why do I only have 140 volts on the plate? How can I have 250 on this plate and 140 on this plate? That makes no sense at all. Pin 2 is the cathode. 3 volts. Pin 3 is the grid. 0. So that shows the tubes are not leaky. They're just tired. But why is the plate... Let's see, pin 7 should be the screen. And it's 140. Oh, hold on. Maybe I'm being stupid here. Pin 6 is the plate. No, how can this one have... How is it possible for this one to have 140? Oh, I'm being stupid. I'm on the light bulb. There we go. I got this thing in an area that, with no windows where I can black it out. What we're going to do is we're going to look down inside the clear bottoms of these IF cans with this. And diagnosing old radios is not really what this is intended for. This is a force multiplier for your boogaloo bag. So that's what we're going to do is plug it in, get the static going, and this will magnify if there's any visible arcing in these. And I've seen it before. There's videos of it on this channel. I think it was a GE radio, and it was just going to town. So here we go. Let me get it plugged in, get the lights turned out, and we'll see what we see. So there you go. We definitely have silver mica disease. Let me see if I can focus that. The other cool thing this will do is it'll bring infrared and ultraviolet into the visible spectrum. So I'm going to pull our dial lamps out here. And we'll take a look at what tubes are glowing with this thing. So we know what's wrong with it. I'm not going to fix it right now. I'm not going to fix it in this video. I've been over how to fix silver mica disease in a lot of videos. And it would be much more helpful if the schematic I had was more than just a schematic without voltages or values or anything like that. I mean, I could figure it out. Basically, you have to take the can out, take the can apart, get in there, get the old capacitors out, put variable capacitors on the bottom, align it with the variable capacitors, measure the variable capacitors, and then put fixed capacitors in, and then go back and align it with the slugs. But we don't even have alignment instructions on this. Not that I don't know how to do that, but it would be nice to have instructions. But what I am interested in is the phono input here. And I'm just going to try the old piece of crap phone and we'll see. A little Esquivel. Not much volume there, is there? So why don't we have anything on this side over here? Stand by. Okay, the 6BM8 is very, very weak. The sound is very weak from it. Yeah, this is very weak. This tube has got to be very weak. Look at how baked the socket is. How about a little of this? See even who gets what this is.
Firing party. Ready.
Sycamore is open.
Aim. Fire.
That's how Sycamore opened. That's how Sycamore is. Guns.
So this is this channel that's weak, the 6BM8, and I'm looking without the light bulb. I'm looking at the cathode voltage, pin 2. Look at this, 18 volts. That tube is like majorly overconducting. What's funny is there's pin 3 is 0, so it's not like grid leakage. Well, maybe they do want that high, because you see this one has a 390 ohm and this one has 100 ohm. So maybe they do want that. I have to look up the specs. Well, this says grid number 1, negative 16 volts. So that's about right. The thing is about negative 18 volts. So I'm not going to worry about that. I think what we're going to do is put it back in and get the speakers hooked up and see how it sounds with the high efficiency speakers that are in it, not these, you know, TV speakers that are probably 60 dB per watt. The ones that are in there are probably 100 or better.
I wanna sing you a love song. I wanna rock you in my arms all night long.
I'm trying to figure this out. So it looks like we got yellow, black. This is probably one of the speaker. And then it looks like we got yellow, white, which is just cut off on the end. And there's literally no wires going to either speaker. So I'm gonna flip this thing over. Flip this thing over on its top so we can get to those. I think it'd be easier to get to the speakers. All I'm trying to do is make this damn thing work with maybe a little Bluetooth input, so it'll be like a rockin' dog bed, you know, a rockin' cat tray. Play a little Led Zeppelin for your labradoodle. Okay, so why does this have a disc capacitor for a crossover? I'm sorry, but I'm a big fan of disc capacitors, but not in a... Ooh, more spider eggs for your dining pleasure. Not for a crossover network. Really, what's the value of this? That should be like 3 to 4 microfarads, something like that. More dead spiders. The spiders, I wonder if these speakers are any good. Look at how big those magnets are. Wow. Make me a car stereo competition car out of that. Ooh, caked with roaches. This is... caked with roaches. This is like nastacular. Yeah. All I have to say is wow. 2.2 microfarad at 3 volt disc capacitor. This is a first for me. And you want to talk about cheap. This is cheap. I didn't even know they made ceramic disc capacitors that were 2.2 microfarads. Wow. 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 I'm going to use this to test these speakers before I hook them all up. So how about a little Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra for your listening pleasure. Let's see what happens here. If I could hold the camera on the subject. And we have nothing. Well, I hear something there. Maybe I need to turn El Telefono up. Okay, what's shorted? I guess that works if you want to call it that. Let's see about this. Crap. Freaking rabbit. Chewed. What is this? Soldered to the damn lead that goes into the frickin' speaker? Stand by. Oh, that sounds good. Oh! Well, I just put a hole in it. Crap. Check this out. Okay, here's a good film capacitor. Listen. Now listen to the disc capacitor. Hear the difference? The disc capacitor is like distorting. I don't get that, other than maybe the voltage is exceeding the disc capacitor and it's like shorting on peaks. That's very weird how that sounds like a unbiased amplifier. Yes, okay. Well, if you need rain around the corner. You know, I hate to say it, but you know what sounds better than, and is, well, might not be louder, but you know what sounds better than all this crap? The phone by itself. I mean, you cannot deny that. So what is the point of this capacitor? Some might not know. It is to filter the bass off. So it's basically a high-pass filter. It just lets the treble portion of the music through and takes the bass off. And I love this repair job here. I don't even know what the hell is going on with that, but I'm going to put a little bit of speaker glue on this, just because I didn't do this one, but I did this one, so I'm going to glue it. I mean, yeah, you know, like whatever. I can't see this disc capacitor not being factory, and I just can't believe that. Disc capacitor don't sound good for crossover network. Well, I took the other tweeter out and look at this thing. I might be a cheap ass and try some of that bathroom caulk I was using yesterday. Premium kitchen and bath adhesive sealant. Boy, that looks ghetto. I wonder if that's going to dampen the high frequency response. Okay, I got the speakers fixed here. I replaced the missing nuts, so they're held down. I just put a 2.2 microfarad electrolytic there. Don't really care about this. I have a theory with this disc capacitor. Once I get this speaker in circuit, I don't know where that came from. Once I get this speaker connected, it's going to pull the peak voltage down below the 3 volts that disc capacitor starts screwing up at, and it's going to sound okay. So I think I got this half-ass fixed. Let's see how it works. So everything works here, and I cleaned the front so it would look roach free. What's interesting is, I wonder if this song's got copyright on it. Dual rotating organs, mono and stereo for your phonograph. So that's the input I'm using. So. How about a little Ursula?
There was Alpha, then Delta, then Omicron next. But this latest variant might be the best. It's XBB.1.5. Another brand of COVID-19 has arrived. It's a new strain, but it isn't the same. Sounds more like Elon Musk's his name. It's XBB.1.5, not UB40 who sees red wine. Put on your mask when you're inside a facility. It could be a robot from a Star Wars trilogy. XBB.1.5, not OMG or MP3 or TCBY or an eye chart made by a really high guy. Sounds like the password of your parents' Wi-Fi. It's XBB.1.5.